A Sunday afternoon traffic stop in Minnesota turned into a deadly officer-involved shooting and a car accident. The default position for any officer-involved shooting of another person, especially if it's an African American, is to immediately think the worst. Obviously, because that's just all part of the plan. Meaning that you burn, loot, possibly murder, we don't know yet, and damage police cars and etc., etc., etc. So, deadly Minnesota police shooting, not the George Kirby one, sparks unrest, cop cars damaged. Authorities said they believe the body cameras and dash cameras were activated during the incident. Now, we don't know what's going on because they haven't released anything. However, let's be frank here. This is just a pregame for if, in fact, Derek Chauvin actually gets acquitted during the trial. But the trial's still going on, specifically, I think, for another 2 weeks. So let's get on it. A Sunday afternoon traffic stop in Minnesota turned into a deadly officer-involved shooting and a car accident. See, the Brooklyn Center Police, which is a suburb of Minneapolis, said in a news release that a stop for a traffic violation was initiated at the 6300 block of North Orchard Avenue shortly before 2 p.m. Brooklyn Center is about 10 miles from Minneapolis, where tensions are high during the murder trial of former officer Derek Chauvin and the death of George Floyd. Demonstrators gathered shortly after with their flags, surprisingly, because that's just the way it goes, apparently. Because everyone's got a flag just on standby, just in case, some unfortunate incident such like this should occur in their neighborhood. And, of course, they bring them out. And, well, let's continue. Demonstrators gathered shortly after the shooting and crash, with some jumping on top of police cars and confronting officers, and the National Guard was activated. Authorities said that the driver of the vehicle had an outstanding warrant. No wonder he didn't want to be caught by the cops. As officers attempted to take the individual into custody, the driver re-entered the vehicle. An officer then discharged their firearm, striking the driver. I don't know if that's correct police procedure, but it happened. In my opinion, it probably shouldn't have happened, but it did. Now, you got to think after a year that the police, just in the Minneapolis area, would probably have a better head on their shoulders, knowing full well that any transgression would be met with this reaction. Well, it gets a little worse continuing on here. The vehicle traveled for several blocks before striking another vehicle. Responding officers and emergency personnel performed life-saving measures, but the driver was later pronounced dead on the scene. Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office plans to release the individual's name following a preliminary autopsy, but we already know, and family notification. However, according to the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, relatives have identified the individual as 20-year-old black man Dewante Wright. A female passenger in the vehicle was also hurt, but expected to be okay, as had been transported to the hospital. Some people inside the vehicle struck during the crash were not injured. Brooklyn Center Police added that they believe the responding officer's body cameras and dashboard cameras were activated during the incident. Fox 9's Mitty Hicks reported that a crowd had gathered at the scene demanding answers, resulting in a heavier police presence with officers carrying crowd control devices. And again, let's be clear about this. Do you think these police officers that just showed up know what's going on? These are essentially stormtroopers, goon squads, if you will. They don't know what's going on. They're there to stop the investigation going on down the street. And of course, that is not good for these denizens of the area. They just decided to, let's attack these police cars with bricks and whatever we can find. And of course, some riot munitions got out, and some guy got shot in the ear with a big old riot round, and he's bleeding. He was, what the hell? I was just, trying to throw a brick through the window. You should just let me. No, it doesn't work that way there, knucklehead. Anywho, and you can see the videos, not going to play them. Videos shared on social media show the windshields and front hoods of two squad cars smashed and dented. Officers are also seen firing non-lethal round at a man who picks up a large piece of cement. Again, maybe that $2.5 trillion infrastructure project is probably good. No, it's not, but you get what I'm getting at. Let's see. In addition, the crowd is seen throwing rocks and bottles at police vehicles as they're removed from the area. That's the Brooklyn Center Police Department's press statement. But it doesn't matter because they don't care. It says police also threatened to deploy tear gas, which scared away some of the crowd, according to Minneapolis Tribune's Kim Hyatt. However, the majority of the crowd remains in the area, chasing after police, with relatives of Daunte Wright pleading with the crowd to be peaceful. Well, they were, but that's like trying to tell an avalanche to stop. It already happened. Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension tweeted the officials were responding to the scene to conduct their own independent investigation of the incident. And whoever shot Mr. Wright is probably going to be 1 arrested and 2 charged. That's just, if they don't do that, then you're going to see the second pregame before the end of the trial of George Floyd. And there's going to create more strife and more pain. And what about a super spreader event out there, mainstream media? Oh, that's right. This is different because it's social justice, and so it doesn't really apply to this, right? The police said additional information will be released as the investigation progresses. Well, here we are at this juncture. And it's going to continue to get worse because that's how these things work. They're going to create some autonomous area. They're going to kick and scream and throw pipes and bottles and Molotov cocktails, burn down an AutoZone, destroy a liquor store. Oh, wait, that already happened this morning, actually. So, again, I don't know. Everyone thought that who voted for the goddamn potato, that this would just stop. Everyone with a room temperature IQ or above knew that that wasn't going to happen. Once another incident such as this happens, this is the end result. Looting, burning, destroying private property, destroying public property, such as police cars. Because, by the way, when you destroy a police car, that's a line item on their budget, and it has to get replaced somehow. And there you go, folks, because, if you want to stop this crap from happening, you need police reform. However, again, in this incident, we don't know what happened. So how about we just sort of sit back, and kind of just go, okay, let's wait for, the dash cam, the body cams. Nope. Default position is to burn, murder, destroy property, attack police, because that's all part of the plan. But hey, that's just one man's opinion here. And I guarantee it that if you thought last night was bad in Brooklyn Center, a suburb of Minneapolis, let's wait till tonight, because it's going to get bad. Even if the National Guard comes out, it doesn't matter. They are going to still try to use this to get some new kicks for their closet.